how I'm building these things. Okay. And if you have any questions at all, drop them in the chat. I'm going to try to answer those questions too, and go from there. So there we go. Okay, cool. Thank you for that, Michelle. Okay, so share my screen. And let's go over to my Slack bot over here. Okay, so check this out. Okay, so I just let me know in chat too what kind of business you're in as well. So do you have a services business? Do you have a product business? Do you sell software? Like what do you sell e-commerce? Like what it is for you exactly? Okay, um, so this is I'm an SEO. Okay, this is one of our Slack bots that I build over here. This shows me if my traffic is going down. Okay, so if you have website traffic, if you have Instagram traffic, you have YouTube traffic, if your traffic is going down, that's not a good thing. Okay, you want to know if your traffic is like what you should be doing about it if it's going down. So this is a simple alert system. It took me maybe an hour to build this. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I did that in a second. But what's more interesting to me is if I look at, for example, we have our sales operations chat. Okay, this is a deal reviver tool that we have. So if you sell anything at all, okay, these are deals that we lost over 10 months ago or so. Now, for our salespeople, they're so busy with new leads that they tend to forget about who they should be following up with. Okay, so just because they said no to you maybe 10 months ago or so, maybe it's a budget thing, maybe they went with a competitor, maybe this was deprioritized, or maybe it was something else. Okay, you never know what someone's reasons are completely, but it doesn't hurt for you to follow up with them. So I built a little deal reviver tool that sits in my Slack, so my team doesn't have to learn any new user interface or anything like that. But what it does is it'll say, hey, this deal was this size over here. This is the person that we should be following up with. And if you hit send email, it actually drafts up a really good email saying, hey, we talked 43 months ago regarding helping with SEO or paid media. Does it make sense to reconnect? It could be a very basic email like that, and it actually drafts this up so our salespeople don't need to think about it. Okay, or they can choose to skip this. The other thing is we actually have this is built into this thing. There's a reason why this newspaper icon is there. It's because we pull news about that company. So if they raise another round of funding, okay, they made a big hire like a CMO, for example, because we help people with marketing. Okay. That news will be personalized into the first sentence. And so your response rate is going to go a lot higher. But if you have this deal reviver tool going, right now you have humans in the loop reviewing the copy and just hitting send, and then we're tracking it. How much more money? This is found money that you're going to have for your business. How long did this take for me to build? Initially, 2 hours. And here's the beauty of this. Whatever you end up building, you are all now product builders. Whatever you end up building is going to compound. Okay, it's going to compound over time. It's going to get stronger over time. Any software you use, we're on Zoom right now. Zoom has gotten better over time. Products tend to get better over time where they tend to go out of business, right? So we're all product builders now. And I'm telling you, we all have godlike powers in our hands now, okay? So I'll give you another one over here. So deals revive. So a deal reviver, that's deals that we lost. What about current deals that have stalled out right now? Okay, so current deals that have stalled out, no activity in the last 21 days or so. Okay, great. Well, we have this. This is going to call it out. Eventually, we're going to have a button you can click where it can cite everything, right? And I wouldn't say these numbers are exactly accurate. There's still some tweaking that I need to do here, but at least you get a sense for how this works, right? Someone's saying that screen is really blurry. Okay, well, hopefully. And Tatiana, I'll answer that one for you. The website to Claude, it's Claude.ai, but you got to pick up Claude Code. And I'm going to show you what you guys need to do to learn this stuff in a little bit, okay? But hopefully, at least you guys are understanding the concept that I'm saying, even if the screen is a little blurry. So type yes in the chat if you're at least understanding where I'm going with this. Yes? Okay. Cheryl's good. Okay. Michelle's good. Mary's good. Jay's good. Okay, good. Great. We're going to keep going here. So you can build these sales tools. In addition, okay, you can build all client. Let's say you have a marketing agency, for example, okay? What do you need to worry about? You need to worry about expanding your clients. You also need to be worried about keeping your clients too. So we use a call recorder tool called Gong, and we ingest all the sales calls that we have, and we ingest all these client calls that we have. Now, the beauty of using these is you can now see if someone is frustrated, someone says not proactive enough, someone says I don't feel like I'm getting what I need exactly. You can have that cited. We have a client churn risk channel that will cite, hey, here's how I rate these calls. Here's what was said. Here's the quotes that were said. Here's where I think this is a risk. Here's what we should do about it. And then it will tag the right person, and then the client services people can decide what they want to do with that. Okay, you can then do that for software as well. You can even do that for eco too. You can handle support at scale, right? Which I'm sure some other people are talking about during this during this summit. Um, the other thing too is you can also look for expansion opportunities. So if a client says, hey, if let's say we're running Google ads for them right now, they're like, I'm really interested in TikTok right now, or I'd love to touch upon this AI creative stuff right now. I've seen this over here. We'll cite that, and then that gives our client expansion team the opportunity to attack those. Okay, so you can basically, using the leverage of all these different tools that you pay for right now, they all probably have APIs. Some of them have MCPs, which is a similar version of API, which just means that your tools can talk to each other. But the reason I'm so excited about this right now is because, guys, I can't code, and I'm sure most of you, those of you that can't code, you now have the ability to code. And the beauty of this is, if you learn how to use this as number one, but you learn how to become a systems thinker, meaning that you're thinking about, okay, if I do this for marketing over here, it's going to affect these systems over here. That's going to affect, okay, we're going to get more salespeople coming in. Okay, how's that going to affect fulfillment? You got to think about all the systems within your business, right? And then you're going to know the right questions to ask, and those are ultimately the right prompts. And you're going to work with this thing because you have an infinitely smart computer, and you're going to refine that prompt, okay? And you're going to use, Claude's going to ask you questions back. It's going to interview you on whatever it is that you're trying to build, and you're just going to keep building over time. And a lot of my friends now, they're just like, man, I wish I didn't have all these human meetings, because I'd just be sitting in this thing all day, this Claude Code thing. Okay, so those of you that feel like this is giving you value right now, I'm curious. Like, drop questions in there. If you feel like this is giving you value, just type Y into chat right now, and I'm gonna figure out how I can continue to tweak this chat for you as we go right now. Okay, good. It's a lot of energy with this thing. It's great. It's great. So I'm gonna log you. I'm gonna pull up Cursor in a second, okay? And it might freak you guys out a little bit, but before I do, let me go higher level to mindset really quick, because I'm kind of jumping around here. So if you want to learn how to think in systems, there's a great book called Thinking in Systems. I highly recommend picking up that book. Just go into Amazon right now, $11. Just pay the $11. If you learn how to think in systems, you are going to be even more powerful with this tool. Okay. The other book I would say is, check out, there's a book called Why Greatness Cannot Be Planned. This is more entrepreneurial mindset type of thing. But the whole idea with that book is, whatever it is that you're building, wherever it is that you are right now with your business, you don't know how you're really going to turn up in the next 5 or 10 years or 15 or 20 years or so. Okay. But as long as you keep staying curious, and as long as you keep going, there's no doubt that you're going to build something great. And I have two statues over here. This is Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. Okay. So, some of the greatest investors in the world. And, the reason I have these statues too is to remind me, to be patient, not be an idiot all the time. But they've always said that if you want to build something generational, you have to be a learning machine, and it takes not 5 years, not 10 years, but we're talking 20 to 30 years or so. If you can continue to compound for 20 to 30 years, and if you can pick this up right now, and those of you that have people working with you as well, here's the thing. Once you gain this superpower, it is on you to teach these people as well. Okay, because if all your people have this superpower, then you're going to be probably a year or two ahead of the fastest companies. You're going to be crushing your competitors. Okay, so Elon Musk, I'm sure we're all fans of Elon. Most of us are fans. Some of you might disagree with his politics. That's fine, right? But as an entrepreneur, I'm sure we can respect Elon as an entrepreneur. And he said this recently. He did a podcast, and the thing with the future is that there's going to be really AI enabled companies. That's why you guys are part of this AI summit right now. Those are the ones that really are going hard on it, and then there's going to be the ones that there's inertia with companies, the ones that don't. Those of you, all of you here right now, you're gaining amazing abilities where you're going to run circles around your competitors. Okay, so now I'm going to open up Cursor, which is how I go about building stuff within this. I'm going to show you how easy it is to build stuff here. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how you can go about learning this stuff as well. So we have a lot of time, so I'm going to be able to answer questions as well, I think. But main thing is, I just want to be able to inject you with this drug right now and show you the possibilities. So let me share my screen, and I apologize if it's blurry in advance. I'll kind of explain what's happening. Maybe it's clear during the call recording. So let me hit optimize for video sharing. Maybe it's better if I do that. Okay, let me make sure this is the right thing. Okay, cool. All right. So let me show you something real quick. So I'm going to give you an example. I just came from another webinar where I was talking about SEO. Okay, so search engine optimization. That's my jam. And literally, one of the guys on the call, the guy that was interviewing me, he's like, "Hey, I want to show people how this works. I want to build this." So as he was talking, I just hit the record button on my screen. I use a tool called Super Whisper to listen to people's dictations, and it basically asked a very SEO specific query over here. And we just wanted to demo to the audience the power of Claude Code. And you can see, we asked a simple question here. It immediately knows what I'm talking about. It's like, okay, I'm going to analyze Single Grain, which is my company, my domain, to identify topical strengths and content gaps using Google Search Console data. Let me check the available sites. It's doing all this stuff. All this code stuff. Guys, I don't know what's going on either. Okay, I have no idea. This is 135,000 characters. No idea what's going on. Okay. And as it's just working. This is an employee, right? Working coder. You're now a coder, okay? So eventually, it lists these other things. Okay, here's what's strong about your website over here. Like we rank for all these different topic clusters. It's okay if you don't understand this stuff. It's just SEO. Okay, we rank for keywords like digital marketing agency. These are maybe content gaps that we should be attacking. Quick wins over here. There's this global SEO agency. We rank number 7 for that right now. Maybe we should be optimizing for that. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this is because I can ask anything I want, and it's going to build it for me. Okay, so if I said on the right side over here, okay, how many YouTube videos did I publish in the last 3 months or so? So I think this is hooked up with my my Google Search Console, maybe my YouTube as well. So maybe this might not work, but let me just ask over here. Okay, so this is the right side over here. I can ask questions, but I'm going to move back over to the build piece over here. So I have multiple things going on over here. Okay, so now I can ask it to, let's just say for fun, I'm just going to say, okay, can you build me a Slack bot that informs me on these opportunities every 2 weeks? Okay. And then what I would do here is I would ask it to, let's say you don't understand SEO at all, okay? You can ask it to do this and it will plan with you. And once it plans with you, it has an entire spec mapped out for you, then you can have it code for you. And then what it's going to do is it's going to ask you to say, okay, you want this to Slack, okay, or Microsoft Teams or whatever. What's the API key? It's going to ask you for all these permissions and things like that. And you're just constantly asking questions. You're planning with it. And it's almost like you're just working with a human being back and forth. And these tabs that you see up here that I have, these are multiple projects that I'm working on right now in parallel. And so just imagine a world where you might be watching TV right now and these things are running and it's just asking you questions and you're just building. Or if you're just standing at lunch, grabbing food, you can literally bust out your phone, just start asking strategic questions. Okay. So these are, what is this? Based on the data knowledge base over here, here's what I found for YouTube videos published. Okay, so this is hallucinating here. This is actually not connected to my YouTube, but I know it's connected to my Google Search Console. Okay, so how about new blog posts published by Google Search Console? Okay, so on the right side, I have a data analyst. In the middle over here, I have something that's building a product. Okay, and then over here, I'll come over to in a second. But I just want to give you a sense of what I'm looking at right now. I'm going to tell you the tool that I'm using. I'm going to tell you how you guys can learn this stuff, and then I'm going to start to answer a bunch of questions as well. So the biggest problem I think a lot of us have had, and I'm speaking for myself, is me as someone who doesn't know how to code. If I run into a roadblock, I'm just going to give up. But with this type of stuff, it's going to keep asking you questions. Okay. And there's this other stuff that I'm building over here, where I've built a tool like the client expansion thing, the client churn thing, but I want to make it better now because the client expansion, the client churn tool is only looking at calls from the last 24 hours or so. I want it to have memory with these specific clients in the last 120 days so it can make better recommendations overall, right? So you're going to have a lot of ideas on how to make these products stronger. And what I would say to you is, think about it this way. The Bruce Lee quote is, I don't fear someone that has practiced 10,000 kicks. I practice the one who has practiced one kick 10,000 times, right? And that's what you want to think about when you're building these products. You don't want to build 20 different things or 30 different things, 40 different things, because this can be dangerous, especially for me with entrepreneurial ADD, just jumping all over the place, trying every opportunity. You don't want to do that, right? And I think the biggest mistake, one of the biggest mistakes I made in my earlier entrepreneurial journey is thinking that, oh, I have 8 different businesses or 10 different businesses. Look at me, right? The reality is you want to have one business that you're focused on and you just want to keep compounding the things inside of it. And that's how you want to think about the products that you're building too, because the scary thing is once you arm yourself with this power, you might scare your team too, right? And so there's 2 components. One, you arm yourself with these weapons, and then the second piece is AI fluency throughout your entire organization. That's a whole nother conversation that we won't touch upon right now. I'll come back to my screen over here. Okay, so you can see, okay, oh, which Slack channel would you like the bi-weekly topical authority report to be posted to? So you can see I'm working back and forth with it now. I'm making this product back and forth now, okay? So marketing conclave, right? So, that's a channel that will push it. But you can see it's just going to keep asking me stuff. Eventually, it'll build out a plan, and I'll say, okay, let's start to build this out, and then it's going to start building. That's what I would say. Now, some of you are wondering right now, well, look at this output. I'm going to come to this output in a second, but how much faster are you going to be with this? Like, why is the juice worth the squeeze? Okay, Eric, I can see the ROI, but like, how much faster am I going to get here? If you don't know how to code right now, and you learn this, you are now infinitely faster, infinitely, okay? Because you didn't have this skill before. Now, if you already had engineers on your team, okay? It used to be, and I actually talked to my CTO this week, it used to be that if you wanted to build something, it might take you 30 days to build a prototype, okay? 30 days to build a working prototype where you can test it, go back and forth with it, 30 days, okay? Now, the math for me is it's taking me 20% of a day, okay? So let's do the math over here, okay? So 30 divided by 0.2 is 150. So I am now, what? Am I 150 times faster? Let's say I'm exaggerating there, okay? Let's just cut that in half. I'm 75 times faster? Okay, well, you say that I'm still exaggerating. Let's say I'm 30 times faster. That's ridiculous. I was going with my Claude code. I was talking with it. I was like, okay, I've been working with you back and forth. How many, I guess, like, the work that I'm doing, what is it equivalent to? That's what I asked it, okay? And it says, you as one person who doesn't know how to code, you are now doing the work of 5 engineers. 5 engineers, okay? And it kind of described the different engineers. And I even asked it too, because I've been using this for maybe just 3 weeks or so. I used it heavily during the holiday break, and I'm using it every day right now. And my sleeping habits have changed. The way I go about my life has changed. And I said, okay, when I first started using this, rate me S tier through D tier. So special tier A, B, C, D, okay? It actually rated me like C minus because I didn't know what I was doing. And that's how it's going to be for y'all starting with this in the very beginning. You're not going to know what you're doing. That's fine. But I kept messing with it every day. I kept tweaking. I kept making mistakes every single day, okay? And then I got to a point, I asked it again. I was like, okay, how am I now? It's like now you're maybe like a B plus, A minus or so. So you're telling me in a span of 2 to 3 weeks, I've gotten from maybe D tier, maybe to B tier, maybe it's being nice to me, but all you have to do is just invest the time into it. And then you might say, I don't have time for this right now. So how about this? How about Friday? On Fridays, you're logging into Claude Code, okay? This is Cursor. Cursor is an IDE. It's a development environment. You can just use, Claude Code you can just use the Claude app, and there's a code section. You can start using that first. You can have it analyze, your business plan, your goals. You can train it on your goals as well. There's so much you can do with it. Again, godlike powers, right? That's what I would say. Now, the other piece I'll say over here is, before I review this thing, is those of you that are wondering, like, how do I actually learn this stuff? And maybe we'll leave the last 5 minutes for questions. How do you learn this stuff? So what I would say is, don't sign up for, maybe someone's pushing a course. I don't have a course to push you here, but what I would say is this, right? Like, maybe there's someone's course, but if I were starting from scratch, I would just go to X. I would go to X. I would open up Grok, which is the LLM that they have. Open up Grok and say, hey, who are the people that I should be following for Claude Code? Who are the people I should be following? Who is talking about the most? Because Grok is trained on X's data, Twitter's data, right? And then you can just follow these people. Follow these people. And this is the fastest place to learn. This is the fastest place to get better. I truly think X and Twitter is the fastest place to get better at AI. And then once you do it, people are going to be sharing videos and things like that. You're going to be learning from these videos. But most importantly, you got to get in these platforms and start doing, right? People are going to show their setups on YouTube. I actually, on my YouTube channel, Leveling Up with Eric Sue, I'm covering a lot of this stuff now. I'm covering how it's changing my business. I'm going to cover how I'm using it from a marketing side too. I'm just going to be covering a lot more, right? So that's how you go about learning this stuff. And I've signed up for Anthropic's course and all that on this, but you're better off just, eating the poo-poo for a little bit, learning and getting better. Okay, that's what I would say. Now, if we scroll up over here, okay, now we're back to looking at this, and I'm going to show you maybe another example, but here's a plan. Okay, so once you use plan mode, and the creators of Cloud Code, they always recommend using plan mode first, because oftentimes you don't think about a lot of contingencies around the plan that you have, and it's better to slow down before you speed up here. So bi-weekly topical authority Slack bot. So build a Slack bot that analyzes single grains Google Search Console data every 2 weeks and reports where does single grain dominate, high impression queries, quick wins, and things like that. Okay, so here, it has all this code. This is what the Slack message format's going to look like. Okay, here's where you're doing well, here's where you aren't, and then I might just hit auto accept. Okay, now check this out. I might say, okay, hey, based on my goals, is this even worth building right now given my other projects? Okay, so we'll see what it says to that. So a lot of us have trouble prioritizing, right? Again, it's the entrepreneurial ADD. This will help you, and we'll see what it says in a moment. Okay, now I'll give you one more example, and then I'll check out the questions. So start dropping your questions into chat. We'll see what pops up. But what you see over here where my mouse is, okay, this is and I'll read some of these off to you just in case you guys can't see the screen, but we have a new product launch today for one of our SEO softwares called ClickFlow. So ClickFlow, I didn't want to, have my team write all the onboarding emails, the abandoned sign up emails, the trial cancel, churn customer, ongoing value, things like this. So I had Claude Code. I gave the plan for what we're building. It interviewed me a little bit. I said, ask me clarifying questions before you output this. And these are the welcome emails that happen when you sign up for ClickFlow. And so, welcome to ClickFlow. So here's the subject line, welcome to ClickFlow. Here's how to get started. And then here's the body. Hi there, welcome to ClickFlow. You've got 14 days to see if this is the right fit for you. Here's how to make the most of it. Step number 1, connect your Google Search Console. Step number 2, generate your first piece of content. Step number 3, review and publish, and then click on this to get started. And then boom, right? Most users see results generate their first content within 24 hours. Don't let this sit. Start the momentum now. And then, email 2, when you should send it and all that. My point is, this go-to-market plan, these emails, these analytics events, the YouTube, podcast scripts that I had to record to put on my podcast, my YouTube channel, the outbound email templates, the landing page copy, all these things would typically cost me, if I was paying for this go-to-market plan, probably tens of thousands of dollars, probably 20 to 30 grand at least. Okay, and this would probably take a couple weeks to get done. This was 95% of the way there. So you can use this to build stuff for you. You can use it as your strategist. You can use it to, use it as your data analyst. So whenever I'm querying data about my HubSpot, my Gong, I can combine that data and ask it questions. I don't need to wait days or weeks to get that data anymore. I can get that in minutes, and I can make faster decisions for my business. And the question is, if you're able to have that power in your hand, how much faster are you going to be able to move? Okay. And I'm going to move over to questions in a moment, but again, spend every Friday doing it, okay? And then eventually it's going to be on you to teach the people around you. It's on you to bring people with you, because you can't have a company of haves and have-nots. You can't have 50% that are really on top of this stuff and 50% that are behind. So the mandate that I have for my company, actually, when we came back from break, I was like, hey guys, here's what we're doing for AI fluency. Next 6 months or so, we're going to get everyone to Cloud Code proficiency, and we're going to help them get there. There's going to be some struggles, but that is a requirement now. So it is a requirement, and you have to put your foot down with this stuff too, because otherwise you're going to have like a hodgepodge company, and you can't have that. Okay, so I'm going to answer some questions now. I'm looking at the questions now. I'm going to start from the very bottom. Let's see. So Nancy asked this, Nancy VIP. I went to Claude and asked for a Cloud Code tutorial prompt. Hi Claudette, I hope all is well. Can you provide a tutorial, or how can I use Cloud Code? Please break me down. That's all new. So by the way, that's great. So you can use Claude Code to actually teach you. Okay, they'll help you set these things up. Inevitably, you're going to run into moments where you get stuck. What I would recommend is if you can start to build community around this stuff. Like those of you that are friends in here, maybe you have a local community. Can you get your friends together and just say, hey, let's do a Claude Code for Business meetup. Let's meet up every month or so. Like I've been doing these AI dinners in LA with other entrepreneurs that are hardcore about this in their organization. Do it's hard to find like-minded people, right? Start to build your mastermind around this stuff. Okay, let's see. Thank you, Dadrian. Appreciate that. Latoya, yeah, sure. So can I repeat the instructions on learning this stuff? Okay, if there's any takeaway from this, go to X/Twitter, click on the Grok button. Okay, Grok, their version of ChatGPT. Click on that and say, hey, who are the people I should be following in terms of learning Claude Code? Who are the best people to follow? It's going to know based on all the content people are posting. And from there, these people are going to be sharing other people as well. And then you can learn from the videos that they're sharing too. That's going to be your best way to learn this stuff. That's going to be the fastest way. Catherine's asking, can you build an app with this program? You can build anything you want. Sky's the limit. You have a strategist in your pocket now. You have an app builder in your pocket now. You have a data analyst in your pocket. You have everything in the power of your pocket plus on your desktop. Cheryl, I'll answer that one. So in your opinion, Cheryl asked, what's the best reasons to use Claude as of today? I would say that I thought it was best resource, but the best reasons to learn this stuff would be one, you start to actually understand code, but I would say you're leveraging yourself 100 times. A lot of my friends, again, that I talk to that we're talking, thousands of employees or so, they're just like, oh my God, this is going to change everything in the company, everything. The friends that are really serious about this, like I asked them what they did during break. The ones that were really serious, they're like, all I did was Claude Code. When I talk to my CTO every day now, it's just Claude Code. And the reason we say Claude Code is it directly affects everything that we do, and it's accelerating everything that we can do. So you can build products, you can have strategies a lot faster, you can pay a lot less for these things, you can get results a lot faster. That's what I would say. And Tammy says Claude is the best writer. Claude is, in my opinion, one of the best writers out there. Dr. Dana Austin, how quick to build an app and how to activate it. Dana, there's going to be when it comes to software, there's a concept known as minimum viable product or a prototype. So you can get a prototype out pretty quickly. Maybe it takes you a couple hours or so to do it. But the key thing is that you're tending it to a garden. You're constantly, you're constantly watering the plants. Okay, you're trimming the trees and things like that. You're gonna have to, if you want a product to compound, you got to compound with it. That's what you got to do. Cool. Deshaun asked, what's the difference between Claude and ChatGPT? Claude and ChatGPT, they're both LLMs on their own, so those in their own form are the same. But ChatGPT has Codex, okay, which is their version of Claude Code. Claude has Claude Code, so they're all kind of competing with each other. So I have about 30 seconds here. Maybe I'll cover one more. So okay, Latrina, author of 2 books you mentioned. So Thinking in Systems, I forgot who the author is, but you should be able to find it on Amazon. Again, just type Thinking in Systems. So Thinking in Systems is one. The other one, I also forgot the author, but it's Why Greatness Cannot Be Planned. Those are 2 phenomenal books that will upgrade your mindset. And in my mind, if you have those 2 mindsets, no doubt you will build something bigger than you ever would have dreamt of. And it looks like I'm running out of time. So you guys can hit me up on Instagram at EricoSIU. And then, feel free to ask questions there. But I'm going to be making a lot more content on this type of stuff. So that's it from me. And I guess I'll turn it back over to the team.
All right. Did you guys enjoy that? Listen, I know it was a little deep, but listen, this is just the possibilities of what you can do with artificial intelligence. So Eric, thank you so much, man, for coming up here and just really giving value. Did anybody in here learn something new? Just put something in the chat. Put yes in the chat if you learned something new. Shannon says, I like this deep information. Let's go. Thank you so much, Eric, for your time. I love it. Marquise says, I loved it.